One spray, only fragrance. Today I have 10 fragrances for you guys, 5 niche, 5 designers that are just monstrous projectors. Not the long lasting of all fragrances, but strongest projection because, you know, 10 hours, 12 plus hours of skin scent really doesn't do you all that good, right? So today we're talking about purely strong projection. And before we begin this video, leave down in the comment section below which fragrances in your collection that have the strongest projection. Let's spread around some beast mode love, alright? So we can all discover some new beast mode fragrances together. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. Yo, what's up guys, Timmy, welcome back to another video. Today we have the top 10 beast mode strong projection fragrance, of course, and today 5 niche, 5 designers. Like I said, we're gonna alternate them starting with the niche fragrance. So the first niche pick of the day comes from the house of Armand Oud. If you guys know Armand Oud, I mentioned them in a couple videos ago. The first one that I mentioned in the other video was White Hinoki. That was my favorite one. This is my second favorite one from the house. This one is Saffron Rare. This one, if you smell it, you know it is Tuscan leather, but it's Tuscan leather with a bit of a smoother take, a sweeter, slightly bit more powdery take, less of the leather note. Is nice. It's easier to wear, it's easier to appreciate, and one thing that completely kicks Tuscan leather out of the competition is the performance. This thing, man, I dubbed it the spray downstairs, you smell it upstairs 12-hour later fragrance. Yeah, and there's quite a few of those in this list where you spray it once and your house kind of smells like it for a while. This is one of those fragrances. The performance of this thing is legit monstrous. The longevity of this one on my skin, it lasted like 10 to 12 hours in that range, but the projection on this, oh god, it lingers around literally forever. The first 6 to 7 hours, you're gonna have a scent trail. You definitely will have a scent trail with this one. So light on the spray with this one. Don't wear it in summertime, fall, winter time only. And if you love Tuscan leather and you're looking for one that's easier to wear, easier to appreciate, maybe a little bit cheaper in price, this one is a really good one. Saffron Rare by Armand Oud. And if you guys are interested in this, I have a discount code down in the description below. Go check that one out. Thank you to Armand Oud for providing our channel and our community with said code. Next one is a designer, and this is the only fresh designer fragrance in here. I want to give at least one spot to a fresh designer, just for those of you guys who live in more hotter places. You guys don't like to wear these winter fragrances. This is the strongest projecting fresh designer fragrance on the market. This one is Versace's Dylan Blue. Now this could easily be compared to Dior Sauvage in terms of projection. Those two are really interchangeable. Some people say Sauvage lasts longer, some people say Dylan Blue lasts longer. For me, they're really neck and neck. But I've talked about Sauvage so many times already that I have to give the spot to Dylan Blue just this once, alright? This one is extremely fresh, ambroxany, strong, mass appealing, compliment getting fragrance. It's gonna be a little bit darker than Dior Sauvage because it has that incense and patchouli that's really reminiscent of the Acqua di Gio line. But it's also gonna have that shower jelly, metallic, ambroxany, mass appealingness from Dior Sauvage. So imagine like a perfect marriage between Dior Sauvage EDT and Acqua di Gio Profumo. Those two together creates something similar to Dylan Blue here. Extremely amazing fragrance. Projection is really legit. For a fresh fragrance, it's hard to find a fragrance that beats this in the designer realm especially. So yeah, Dylan Blue, first designer pick. Next, let's jump onto a niche fragrance. This one is from by Killians, and this is one that surprised me so much how strong this is projection-wise. This is not the longest lasting fragrance on the planet, but scent trail is ridiculous. This one is by Killians Apple Brandy. Now, before we get right into this one, I have to say that there's been rumors that this one is gone. I can't confirm nor deny that. I haven't really done a lot of research on that myself, but it is phenomenal in terms of sillage. And the smell itself too is amazing. It's a sweet apple, a little bit syrupy mixed with a booziness. It's just, man, boozy apple, like boozy syrupy apple. It's such a combination that smells so sexy yet so masculine all at the same time. And the projection, like I said again, the scent trail, the sillage is monstrous. It's really good. I made the mistake of wearing 3 to 4 sprays of this one before. I can't remember exactly how many sprays I wore that night, but I choked myself out. And it was nighttime. It was like fall nighttime. I choked myself out. It was too much. It was so cloying. I wish I only wore 1 or 2 sprays. And that's that's what this video is all about, man. 1 to 2 spray fragrance. This one, monstrous projection. For those of you beast mode lover out there who's looking for a nighttime, maybe a clubbing fragrance that smells absolutely super sexy, sweet, boozy, Apple Brandy. Moving on, we have our next designer pick. This one is from Moschino Toyboy. This one is one that is super controversial because of the bottle. People want to own this fragrance. Don't get me wrong. The smell itself is extremely unique. It's something that's groundbreaking in the designer world, especially for today with a lot of just sport releases, fresh releases, really boring releases. This one really stands out, man. And people want this. The only reason why they don't buy this is the bottle. It's like, it just looks a little bit tacky to some people. I like it personally. I mean, like, well, I like bear, so this just works for me. But yeah, this thing is strong. It's rose, it's dry, it's just, God, it is a strong fragrance. I wore this in the summertime like an idiot. I wore this, I got in my car, I nearly died. I legit nearly died. I was like, oh, I gotta roll down my window and just let some air in. I only wore like 1 spray in the summertime because, you know, I wasn't that big of an idiot. I knew that this is a fall and winter fragrance, but I wanted to wear it anyway, so it's like maybe 1 spray would do me just fine. No, it was still too much. So this is fall, winter, spring, that's exclusively for that. No high heat, please. And 1 to 2 sprays, definitely enough for this one. Not gonna be your most mass appealing scent out there, but an incredible one to smell, especially if you're a collector and you're tired of all these new sport, fresh Cashmerean, Ambrox, and Aquazone releases of 2020 or late 2019. Next, we have a niche, and this is more like the whole house rather than a fragrance. This one is Zoologist, and the fragrance I picked to showcase for you guys today is the original Bat. Yes, you can't get this anymore. Why is this in this list? Because, well, I'm telling you guys, it's the whole house, all right? Zoologist is a brand just known for performance. It's known for creativity, it's known for collectability, but it's known massively for how strong every fragrance projects and performs. Every fragrance from Zoologist would last you at bare minimum 8 hours. Bare minimum 8 hours. Most of them ranging from 10 to 12 hours, but Bat and some other fragrances like Rhinoceros and Hummingbird last 14 plus hours easily, especially the original Bat. I would say the original Bat is the strongest projecting fragrance in the Zoologist line. Sad that it's discontinued, but if you look at that whole house, you won't be disappointed in any one of them in terms of performance. So yeah, check out Zoologist. It's actually one of my favorite niche houses. I own pretty much all of them except for maybe 3. Our next designer pick comes from the house of Valentino, and this one is Valentino Uomo Noir Absolute. What a full name for your mouth to say, like a mouthful basically. I just said that the long way. But yeah, Valentino Uomo Noir Absolute. This one is sandalwood and incense. So it has a little bit of that classic incensey, almost like a churchy kind of smell. Not frankincense level churchy, but it has that kind of incense. Maybe a temple, not a church, like a temple kind of smell mixed with this kind of smooth sandalwood. It's very classy. This is one that I personally like, but I don't really see a good time to wear this in my personal opinion. You can wear this maybe formal occasion in the winter time or the fall time, but even in that case, it still smells a little bit too niche. And that's what this fragrance is, man. It's a designer fragrance that could be a low-end to a mid-tier niche fragrance. So yeah, collectors out there, this is a unique one, absolutely. And the performance on this one, again, it's in this list, so yes, it is super strong. And this one joins the club of you spray it downstairs, you smell it upstairs a few hours later. So this one joins that club. It is strong, it's brutal. 1 to 2 spray will absolutely do it for you. For the fall and winter time, if you're looking for something unique, something just to break away from your normal maybe boozy fragrance or leather fragrance, cherry tobacco fragrance, just your regular fall winter scent that you're used to wearing or a lot of people talk about, go with something like this, an incense heavy fragrance. Not a lot of people wear incense based fragrances because they're a little bit polarizing, but for you the collector, for you the connoisseur, nothing is too polarizing. And if you're looking at beast mode fragrances, man, you're not afraid to wear anything. So yeah, picked this one up. Valentino Uomo Noir Absolute. I hate the name, really. I really hate the name. It's so long. Next one here, we have one of my favorites. I picked this one up beginning of 2017. It was near New Year's time. The snow was falling in New York City. I was there on a trip with one friend, looking at New York City for the first time, seeing how beautiful it is and how cold it is actually not, because at the time I was from Alaska. My skin was, dude, polar bear status. Nothing was too cold for me. Fell in love with New York City that year. My first time there, fell in love with it. Bought a few fragrances. This one was one of them. This one is Moringa by Parfum and Roma. I picked this up at Oswald. This is an Oswald exclusive. This one is strong. I sprayed one spray in Alaska and I was working inside the classroom. Someone complimented me saying I smell like a lemon cookie. That's actually one of my most favorite compliment ever. But this thing fills a room. I only spray it once. It filled up my whole entire classroom. Wherever I walk, I can get a little bit of a glimpse of this fragrance, and my coworker could get it as well. So I didn't wear this fragrance too often, you would imagine, because I didn't want them to smell me like that all the time. But the few times that I did wear it, people do notice, and I do notice it throughout the day inside my own classroom. So yeah, Moringa by Parfum and Roma. This is no joke. Actually, the whole brand is no joke performance-wise. They use, I think, 33% white musk in all of their fragrances. Don't quote me on this. I researched it once and that's what I found. They use 33% white musk in almost all their fragrances. And if you guys know perfumery at a little bit of a deeper level, you guys would know that musk contributes a lot to a fragrance performance. So the more musk it has, the more floral it has, the longer the fragrance seems to last. So this brand decided, hey, let's make a third of our fragrances just musk. So yeah, this and the rest of the line, very, very beastly because of that. And before we move on to the next fragrance, if you guys want to know, my favorite from the line is absolutely this one. I tried the rest of them at Oswald. I like some of them, but this one stood out to me the most. Moving on, we have the next designer pick. This one is from the house of Emporio Armani. Yeah, Emporio Armani, the cheaper teenager version of the Giorgio Armani, the other brother, the older adult brother of the Armani franchise. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, this one is Stronger With You Intensely. Yeah, and intensely is right. This is the strongest one from the Stronger With You line. So strong, in fact, that I don't wear it. I just don't. It's just too strong, it's too sweet, too overwhelming for me. Although I really like the smell, I like the chestnut kind of sweetness. It's a very different sweetness. It's not a sweetness that's bubblegummy. It's not a sweetness that leans super, super highly like vanillic or anything like that. It has a kind of like a salty, nutty smell to it that's added on to make that sweetness feels like its own. It's actually a little bit gourmandish in a way. It has a little bit of that vanillic DNA in there too, but the nuttiness in this makes it really, really gourmandish, and I absolutely love gourmand fragrances. So this one is really, really up my alley, but given that, I still don't wear it because it's just too strong. Like, when am I ever gonna wear this? Like, even in fall and winter time, I might wear this outdoors, but God, man, there's so few situations to wear this for my lifestyle. So yeah, that's it for this one. Super fantastic, love the smell, just don't know when to wear it. Performance, if you're a beast mode lover, this one will not disappoint you in the slightest. Last one for the niche fragrance. This one, if you guys are OG Imagine Scent fan, you guys saw this coming. This fragrance has been in my collection for so long, and it sat on the top of the longevity throne, the performance throne, the projection throne for all these years, and I've yet to find a fragrance to dethrone it. This one guys, drum roll, the king, not Aventus, the king, the myth, the legend, Out Safran Rare. Yes, I will always remember this story in particular. I wore this 8 a.m. in the morning. I visited my girlfriend at the time. I went to her house 11 p.m. 15 hours into the fragrance. She said it was too strong. She can smell it. The sillage was still there. She asked me to go and wash it off. That's how strong this fragrance is. 15 hours in, like, it doesn't let up. The performance of this one is so ungodly powerful that is just sometimes borderline unwearable for some situation. And another story I'll tell you guys. When I first smelled this fragrance, I got a sample, right? The little dabber sample, the little tiny little dabber stick that they give you. I dabbed just one swipe on my finger like this. I went to the bank. I was standing in line at the bank. It was a good like 2-3 feet away away kind of line. And the lady in front of me turned around and said, "You smell good, like what are you wearing?" And I kid you not, one little dabber stick, bam, she could smell it. It is the strongest fragrance I own and the strongest fragrance that I've experienced throughout my years, period. No competition. So yeah, Oud Satin Mood for those beast mode lovers. This one will challenge even people like you guys. Last designer we have on here, we have another no-brainer. If you guys have ever watched any long-lasting fragrance list, this one shows up 99.9% of the time. And if it doesn't show up there, they're lying and they just forgot about this fragrance. This is undeniably the strongest designer fragrance on the planet, bar none. Like there's no competition. Nothing comes even close to this. This is the founder of the you spray downstairs and you smell upstairs 10 hours later club. This one is Dior Homme Parfum. This does not come off your skin. This thing is legitimately like fragrance glue. It will stay on your skin until you shower. And God forbid you spray it on clothes. That t-shirt, done. If you don't wash that t-shirt for a year or 2 years, it will still smell like that. And this is a true story, by the way. It's not my story, but a friend of mine in the community actually said they sprayed this on a shirt in their closet. They didn't wash it for 2 years because of course they didn't wear that shirt for a couple years. They still smell it 2 years later. So, true story. This is just ridiculously powerful. It's one that if you wear it during the winter time, make sure you spray it on maybe half an hour before you walk outside just to give it a bit of room to breathe and leave your skin a little bit. You do not want to just spray this and just go immediately to the place you need to go, or you might knock some people out along the way that you're there, or knock yourself out in the car if you're driving there. So yeah, this one is no joke, the strongest designer fragrance ever. So if you want to own the 2 strongest, most beast mode fragrance on the planet in both categories, these are the duo to own. So for those of you guys, beast mode fans, you crazy projector, you 10 sprays of interlude man in the elevators, all those guys, those 2 are the 2 you do not want to miss. Alright guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave down in the comment section below one beast mode fragrance. Share your beast mode fragrance. I want to discover more of them. See if there's one to beat the last 2 here that I talked about. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and bye.